Hello, everybody. Good morning. Today, we're back a little bit less congested than yesterday. We are recording the video this morning because we are going to be talking about Copa America semifinals yesterday. I gave my predictions for the Euro. If you haven't seen that video, go ahead and check it out. Today, we're going to be talking about the Copa America semifinals, in which are going to be incredible. Both semifinals we have in each tournament have some amazing teams left, and I'm really excited. So if you enjoy the video, drop a thumbs up. Get in the comments down below if you guys have been following this tournament. Let me know what you guys think. I feel like this tournament this year has been literally well less ran than the Euro overall, but the overall entertainment value, in my opinion, has been greater from Copa than Euro. I think the Euro has been a more well-ran tournament, and we've seen, uh, moreover than not, most teams competing at a very high level technically. But man, just what goes on in Copa between like 41 fouls per match. I don't know. There's something about it that it's only going to happen in that tournament, right? It's only going to happen in that tournament. So, listen, I'm feeling very good. I talked about this in the video yesterday. My pick for the Euro before the tournament was Spain. I'm a little worried about it because I do feel like Spain have a couple really important players, key players missing in that matchup. And obviously, they're going to have to play France, who just, man, France is a really tough team to beat. And then, in this tournament, I picked Colombia. And this tournament, look, Colombia is obviously in the semifinals. So for me to have both my pre-tournament picks in the semifinals, I'm very happy about it. And if you looked at betting odds favorite-wise pre-tournament, I think Spain was like 5 or 6. They were like plus 700, which means if you bet $100, you get 700 back if they win. England was like plus 150 or something. So they definitely weren't a favorite, but we went with them. We said they were going to be the best. And Colombia, I think Colombia were plus 1,200. I think Argentina was plus 175 and Brazil was plus 215. So we've made some really good choices rather. We've got them still to play, but we're going to preview this and get into this right now. So the first matchup we have Argentina-Canada. This one is really going to be more interesting than people think because let me tell you this. They played each other in the group stage, which is kind of crazy that they'll play each other again. They were the opening match of Copa America, and that game was just crazy. Honestly, that game probably could have been like 7-5. Canada had so many chances to score. Argentina had even more. The game ended up, I believe, 2-0. 2-0, I believe, to Argentina. They won it. And yeah, it was just chaos. But a lot has happened since then, and essentially, Canada have gotten themselves to the knockout stage, and they defeated Venezuela in penalties. And Venezuela was a team that had, going into that game, 9 points. They won all their games in their group. They even defeated Ecuador. Ecuador had a red card in that game. They went to penalties, and they clutched it up. Canada literally out-created chance-wise 2-1 as well on Venezuela, who had the 9 points. And I was really impressed with that. I think something Canada have done really well since that Argentina game, just from what I have seen, they've really polished up their defense. I know Argentina is another monster in terms of attacking, but I felt like they really polished up their defense. But I watched that game, I just felt like the defense was wide open. Something Canada, it feels like Jesse March and what they've gone through and done is really cleaned up the defense. Again, they held Peru scoreless, which I think is great, under 1 xG. Chile did not score against them, which, yes, they had a red card. I mean, in almost all their games, other teams had a red card, which is the most Copa situation ever. Rondon had an amazing goal in this game, so I'm not going to sit here and say whatever, but I just feel like they've been better defensively. And the style of Copa, guys, is so interesting because if you get to 90 minutes with a tie, you're going right to penalties unless you're in the final. So that still applies for the semifinals, which makes these games a lot more interesting. If Canada can hold their own, if Canada, it's like one mistake in these games can change the whole outcome. And what I mean by that is that, let's say Canada get an early goal. They have a really good chance right away to either, if they only concede once, they're going to penalties against Argentina, the world's number one, the team that just won the last World Cup. Now, I don't personally think Argentina is the best team left in this tournament. I think they're the third best team left in this tournament. What I will say, though, about Argentina is that I think they have this certain aura. They have Messi, but moreover, they just have these guys on this team. They know what it takes to get it done. They've got it done already. And they just have that tournament aura. So I'm not counting them out. Obviously, they were the betting favorite, them in England, and they're both still in for that reason. Injury-wise, I don't know what Argentina or yellow card-wise, what they have going into this game. Predicted lineups, I mean, it looks overall pretty what it is. Davies is going to play. David's going to play. Schaffelberg had a really good last match. Bombito is really good. The keeper on Canada has been playing great. They're probably going to go Lautaro for sure, is my assumption, because of his form. Alvarez will come off the bench. What a luxury that is, by the way. The fact that you can bring in Julian Alvarez off the bench. That's ridiculous. I got to see these guys play live too, man. At the end of the day, I think they're a step below what they were and what they kind of have been the last couple of years. The previous Copa America win was when they had a very informed Di Maria and a better version of Messi. Even the World Cup, you could argue the same situation. But I'll say this. Their back three in terms of Emi Martinez, Romero, and Lisandro Martinez, they're unbelievable, those three. So I think, we look at this Argentina team, you think about Messi, you think about Lautaro, you think about De Paul holding Messi's hand. We got to start talking about those three. Emi Martinez, Romero, and Lisandro have created one of the craziest. I mean, that triangle right there, they are unbelievable. They can totally go ahead, in my opinion, and secure a tournament win on their own, just those three, if they can get production out of one attacker in this team. Plus, we are in the semifinal, and I will be honest, Messi really has not played well this tournament. This has been a disappointing tournament for Messi and Ronaldo. Really, Argentina is lucky to be in this semifinal. I mean it, too. I watched this game. Ecuador was the better team. They are lucky to be here. They won in penalties, which they are going to have the edge against Canada. With Emi Martinez and all those pen takers, they will totally have the edge. But in my opinion, they are just lucky. I think they are actually lucky to be in this spot. You need luck, as you can see, 50-50 possession. Ecuador were really good in this game. They could have stole the game in the end. They even missed a penalty, and they tied it up at the end. So, for me, it's one of those where I think Ecuador is slightly better than Canada. I know that the Canadians will argue, well, we beat Venezuela and Venezuela beat Ecuador. Ecuador, I think, is better than Venezuela. I think they had a tough situation in that group, and then they done well because they had that red card, dropped those points. They done well to get out of that group, in my opinion. But no game is easy in Copa. So I'm not going to sit here and write off Canada, but I do believe that Argentina will advance to the final. Look, this would be one of the greatest upsets we've ever seen. It's already quite an achievement that Canada got here. I'm going to give them a small chance, but not much of a chance. I think Argentina will do well. The way I can see Canada getting through here is a penalty shootout win. But again, you go to penalties against Emi Martinez. Man, you're not winning that. There's no way. So Argentina, for me, would be really shocking if they drop this game. I don't think Argentina is going to win this tournament. I don't, because I'll tell you this. I would say I think Argentina can win this tournament if the format of the 90 minutes to go to right to pens existed for the final. But because of the format that in the final there is extra time, I don't think Argentina is going to win it all. But we'll talk about that in a future video. I think they will get to the final and have a chance to defend their Copa America title. Now, the other game that we're going to go to, oh my goodness, this one is must-watch TV. Whatever you guys are doing on July 10th, I know we've got Spain, France, all these crazy games. In my opinion, this is the best game we have in any of the semifinals. I swear to you, this game is going to be unbelievable. First of all, we've got Uruguay with Bielsa, who got a red card in the 74th minute against Brazil, and managed to win that game in penalties. I'm very happy they won that game in penalties because I just believe that Uruguay is much better than Brazil. Now, in the game versus Brazil, I think Uruguay peaked a little bit early in this tournament. I know they didn't play the best teams, but they haven't been playing as well the last two games. Even against the U.S., I was not impressed with that game. I thought the U.S. overall kind of just, I know that they had mainly the chances, but it just felt like in the game in terms of control, U.S., it felt like they controlled the game a little bit more, or more than what I expected them to control against Uruguay. But I think at this point they were already through. Look, what I want to talk about is the X factor in this. The fact of the matter is that Araujo is injured. That's the number one question mark. I'm going to be honest with you guys. If Araujo, look, Jimenez stepped in and played really well. Araujo is very important for this team. Very important. Now, again, they've done very well with Jimenez, but I'm really worried about that. There's no news on what's going on with him. I'd have to look around a little bit on Twitter to see what's up. I don't know if he's going to play. The injury did not look good. The fact of the matter is Colombia haven't lost in 2 years. Genuinely. They beat Spain already. They just won. I know they were playing Panama, but Panama was a team that got through. They had a lot of momentum, and I thought would have played better. I only predicted Colombia to win 2-0. They killed Panama. They killed Panama. They destroyed them. And the way Colombia scores goals, man, they don't create 4 or 5 expected goals. They will just pour them in. They've got James Rodriguez, who's got 4 assists in this tournament, looking like he's in his prime again. And that's the beauty of this team. You look at his team, right? And you look at his team versus Argentina or versus... That's the beauty of some of these Copa America teams versus like England, right? This Colombia team, in my opinion, would smack England. I mean, they play such good football. To watch these guys, they're unbelievable. So I expect Colombia to win this game. I know I'm a little bit biased because I chose them to win the tournament pre-tournament. So look, it would be hard for me to go against that pick. But at the end of the day, I'm thinking that anything could happen, right? So in this game, it's tough because it's 90 minutes. We know we've already seen Uruguay now because we've seen Uruguay capable of playing well down a man and you know playing well even with injuries. So yeah, Araujo's a huge loss, but the fact that they can bring in Jimenez is crazy. A lot of experience, great defender. So this game could easily go penalties. I think Colombia is going to win by a goal. Look, I think overall the team that's more likely to beat Argentina is Colombia. People are saying Colombia's overrated. They are not overrated. They are incredible. They haven't lost in 2 years. They've beat Spain in friendlies even heading up to this tournament. They're such a good team. So I would hope, look, I know a lot of Uruguayans. I like Uruguay a lot. I love Darwin. I love a lot of their players. I love De La Cruz. I mean, they have some great players. I wouldn't be mad if they beat Colombia. And I think it would make for a great final if Argentina advances as well. And I'm not counting them out, but if I were to give you like a percentage, I'm probably 60-40 on Colombia on this game. I think Colombia have just been the overall better quality team through this tournament. And I think Uruguay are a little banged up. But Uruguay have the manager. They definitely have the players to go ahead and advance. And anything is possible, right? I don't know how the odds are working on this game, but that game is going to be game of the year. I cannot wait for that one. It's going to be awesome. We're going to be watching it live on stream. So I am expecting to see Argentina, Colombia in the final. That's what I expect. We're not going to talk about what I feel like is going to happen then. Colombia have just been insane in this tournament, honestly. I know they did draw against Brazil, but Brazil, man, Brazil overall, we could do another video talking about how overall disappointing Brazil has been in this tournament. They most games I've seen Brazil, it's like they don't even try to attack. They're not creating anything. I mean, the fact that we're looking at a Brazil team who played against Colombia and they have 0.29 XG is ridiculous. So what do you guys expect? What do you guys think is going to happen? I am predicting in this tournament to see an Argentina versus Colombia final. Even if Canada goes through and upsets, I mean, that's cool too. But Argentina versus whoever wins on the other side is going to be a great final. There's actually a third place game for this tournament too. So that's interesting. That's the day before, but I won't be watching that. So let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching another video of mine. And we're almost to tomorrow. I have a little bit of withdrawal because we haven't had football yesterday or today, but we're almost there tomorrow. And we'll see you guys then. Peace.